Okay, this is one of my videos in the dark. And like I said, when you look at this divestiture movement and how I cite why white men are technically not making no case to be with black women like that because they're afraid of losing their own women. This is the reality of that. See what it is. These white men, yeah, they're a lot of them smash black women in secret. But to be out there in public with black women like that, they're not trying to do that. Because the reason why you don't have no high number of interracial relationships between Keisha and Brad is Brad afraid if if a lot of them be out here with black women, they would know that white women will say, "Huh, well we're gonna go and get with Tyrone and Lamont and Jamal." And see, that's what white men more afraid of. They more afraid of losing white women to black men than getting with you black women. But see, you black women so stupid, y'all don't see that shit. Y'all thinking when y'all get with a Brad that y'all really leveling up. But the reality is y'all are getting with the 50% of white men that white women don't choose. I say y'all ain't even looking at the math. Y'all just run around here thinking y'all gonna get with a white man, and then it's gonna be y'all living in a this fairy tale white picket fence, 4-car, 2-car garage, 4-bedroom house. You gonna have your little biracial kids with Brad, and y'all gonna go off into the sunset. And then when you find out that Brad doesn't want you and not offering you that, and all of a sudden now you feel you gonna go a monkey branch to another white dude that's not providing you that either. So what happened is you have these black women monkey branch to white dude, white dude, white dude, and then end up with nothing out of it at the end. Meanwhile, Becky get with Tyrone and they truly do go off into the sunset and have them a family. Brad doesn't like this. Keisha doesn't like this. This is why Keisha have a problem with Tyrone going out. That's why Brad have a problem with Becky and Tyrone going off, because they already got white people in general already got a dwindling population. Their population is dwindling globally. So when they women run off with Tyrone, they gonna feel a certain kind of way about it. They could be, and the funny thing is, you'll have white men in relationships with black women, and see black men with white women, and they get in their feelings about it, because in the white man's mind, he should have access to everybody's woman, but nobody should have access to his woman. He should have access to Asian women, but Asian women shouldn't have access to his women. See what I'm saying? White men feel they should have access to everybody's women, but nobody should have access to his woman. And like Charles Willie Preet brought up a point, like you had Asian men basically bitching about white men being with their women, and white dudes, over on their shit, telling Asian men that they jealous of them and shit like that. So then I said, when brothers come in the comment section, we said like, damn, and that's how y'all be saying, that's the same shit y'all saying to Asian men, y'all be saying to y'all be talking the same shit to black men, taking y'all women, I guess, reflection much. So when black guys come onto those Asian sites where you have Asian men going back and forth with white guys over Asian women, we come into those spaces, Asian men start smiling like a motherfucker, because now we proving this white man, bro. I said, damn, that's what y'all be saying about us when we get y'all women. So I said, man, you know, like I said, we come in and say Asian men, white men, the only ones feel that they can go anywhere and get with everybody else group of women, but nobody can touch Becky or Susan. So when you have these videos or TikTok videos where you have asking who do white women choose, and the white women say they choose the Tyrone, all these white boys crash out. But you have the same videos where you have a white dude talking to black chicks saying how they prefer a girl get with a white dude, and black men ain't crashing out all over the place. Black men are not crashing out all over the place because Keisha with Brad. Keisha want us to do that, but we ain't doing that, and that's what really pissed Keisha off. That's what pissed these black women off, because they could talk about how they divest this world. Our brothers gonna do okay. We know we got our passport. We cool with that, and they really get mad because they want us black women want us to get mad at them with white dudes, and it's not happening. They ain't doing nothing, but they doing just like the white men doing. They crashing out, even with they with, even when black chicks with a white dude, they'll feel the same way about Tyrone with Becky that Brad feel about Tyrone with Becky. Both of them feel they should have the right of refusal. Black women feel they should have the right of refusal to refuse Tyrone. This is what all this shit about when they had the video where the brother said that he just said hi to a black woman and she snubbed him and shit. I said, so now that you have black men now, it's like this. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. One minute they'll claim and say that black men are not approaching them. So then when black men do approach them, they want to blow them off. So, but it's the right of refusal. They want to be able to have the right of refusal. And then on top of that, that make them feel like they somehow validated that men choosing them, and they able to fight these black guys off that's trying to get with them. Girl, I gotta fight these black men off trying to holler at me. They getting on my nerves now. See how that shit looks? That's why I'm telling brothers they need to stop approaching black women. Don't even fuck with them, period. Basically avoid them. If black women want to get with black men, let them approach you. That's how I say. If black women want to get with black men and interested, let them make the move. If they don't want to make the move, fuck it. Like my boy Wiz Khalifa said, make the play. So you got a lot of these black women, they want motherfucking brothers to approach them, but then they don't want brothers to approach them. They want the right of refusal. And now you got these brothers not saying we good, we gonna sit, we stepping back. And these brothers now they take it a step further. They just go and get their passports and go abroad. And then so the only men y'all got left is the educated guys that y'all be procreating with, the guys that you all be laying up with, the Pookies and Ray Rays, and having kids with. Because all the brothers that are professional, or even the blue collar brothers that got good jobs, shit, they ain't fuck with y'all. They done left the building. So now y'all with Pookie and Ray Ray. Well, what happened is y'all will use those Pookie and Ray Rays that y'all date and say that's all black men. No, bitch, them the niggas y'all fucking with that you fucked up in your circles. It's just like the Sharika chick. She talking about she got tired of black men that came with prison yard talking, basically prison yard conversation. I like, bitch, who you around? And she completely made that shit up. The thing is, she wasn't getting picked when she was living in Iowa by black dudes. That's the truth. She wasn't getting picked by probably the desired black dudes that she wasn't getting picked. She'll see black dudes up there, Iowa, you up there, hey, I know how Iowa do black dudes up there. I know how all the white girls be getting with black dudes up there, because that's all you see in Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Indiana, Ohio, all the northern Midwest states, from Nebraska, that's all you see is Tyrone up there blowing the backs out of white girls. That's all you see. You see mostly biracial kids all over the place from Tyrone. So when you got all these black dudes that's athletes and shit with Becky, yeah, she go feel Sharika felt a certain kind of way about it. So what they do, they start saying, well, I'm gonna go and get with a white man. But they get any kind of white dude, they be getting motherfucker busted, bottom shelf, trailer park brands. She herself, Sharika, got with a motherfucker low level ass white dude that's a white supremacist. And he probably couldn't even get a white chick if he paid him because he probably wasn't. A lot of these white incels, just to have sex, they'll get with a black woman because they know a lot of them black women worship her. See how that works? And they get with them, and oftentimes those white men become real abusive to them black women, to them black women. A lot of times they get real abusive to those black women because of the reasons why white white women are not choosing them, so they take out their anger on Keisha. They take their anger on Keisha, calling her. They start off how the white, like with the Sharika chick. She said, made TikTok videos saying how he was calling her his favorite nigger bitch and all this shit, and you know, she was basically cool with that. So basically, what it is, what this Sharika chick is, she a prime example of the grift. 1 minute she'll complain about black, white supremacy, black men, and divesting from black men. 1 minute she crying up there boo-hooing about white supremacy and how the world her son gonna live in. This chick is psychologically fucked up. Now, like I said, a lot of that could be possible that she was being molested by her black adopted father, and if that's the case, that nigga need to have his head knocked off. If that nigga was doing that to her when she was a kid, yes, I will say it. Even in defense of her, that nigga need to have his head knocked off. If he was doing it, and family child services, if that's what she's saying is true, they you know what, they need to be shut down and kept from getting children. That's real talk. I agree with her on that, because should no child be abused like that, even if she was a child. That's why I said, in a way, I kind of feel bad for her, because I said, now if that's the case, that she went through that Sharika Soul went through that explains the direction in life that she went. And at that point, I'm not even mad at what she's saying. I feel sorry for her. I feel bad for her, because that's fucked up. But we ain't gonna sit up here and gonna blame all us for that fuckery and shit. They ain't not our fault. They ain't black men's fault. And the funny thing is, on that, not to move on, talk about her, this whole subject, I'm just saying, Sharika Soul, she'll been that chick. If she wasn't on that shit that she was on, talking that shit, that crazy ass goofy shit, divestment shit that she was on, if I just seen her out there the street, I probably would holler at her, because I'm actually attracted to dark skinned women more than fucking light skinned women. Even though the woman I'm with, she's a biracial chick, to be honest, I'm more attracted to darker skinned women. Not, I ain't gonna leave my woman, but I mean, I'm just saying that's what I've always have dated, was dark skinned black women that look like her. So the funny thing is, I mean, whatever little problem she got, she need to get fixed. She need to get help. That's the only thing I can tell Sharika Soul, that she actually need help. She need to go see a psychologist. Real spill. She need therapy. For her sake. And her child's sake. But other than that, yes, these lot of these white guys got an inferiority complex about themselves. And like I told people, when they are with white supremacists, like Amazing Lucas, shout out to Sarge Willie P. Saying that, because I see that clip where Amazing Lucas said, if white people feel so superior, why they don't want black people to get any kind of progress. I say that's why, because white people have an inferiority complex secretly. They have an inferiority complex. I said white people they will say they superior, but yet they have an inferiority complex, particularly when it comes to Black Americans. And the reasons why they have this inferiority complex with us is because they know Black Americans know them inside out. We know them, and we know white Americans and white people inside out. We know how they move. We know how their actions. We know how they move. So why would you want a group of people that like us to get any kind of motherfucker financial economic stability that would put us in competition with them? And that's why they destroyed thriving Black communities. That's why they redlined us. That's why they passed the Homestead Act for us. We was left out of that. We were left out of urban renewal. We was left out of, they had convict leasing. They had COINTELPRO. They had destruction of thriving Black communities, the assassination of Black leaders. All this shit they had just to keep Black people and Black men particularly at the bottom. At the bottom, because they have a fear. The fear of white men is that we get our own shit together. They feel that the favor gonna be returned to them. That's why they have a level of guilt. This is the main reason why they have Black fatigue. And the Black fatigue is the part that they don't want to acknowledge. They know the truth, but they don't want to acknowledge the truth, so it pains them. So this is the problem with Black fatigue. But like I said, man, they are dwindling population, and right now they can talk all this stuff about the Great Replacement, but you got the fucked up thing is you got one of the Proud Boys married to a Black chick, and then she's a Nigerian. So I like you got a so-called white supremacist in a relationship with a Black woman. And I say ain't none of these white supremacists called it out. Even Nick Fuentes and none of them. But I haven't seen them say nothing about the Proud Boy leader that they said something about it. Cause I said, y'all, how the fuck you gonna talk about the Great Replacement when you up here laying up having children with a Black woman? And then it's like Charles Willie Pete mentioned Tom Mesker. Tom Mesker, he was a white supremacist married to a brown-skinned Filipino woman. And he said, technically, I'm a race traitor. Yeah, I said, yeah, you have a lot of these white dudes that are race traitors, but they'll turn around and call a white woman a mudshort for being with a Black man. See the double standard? It ain't no different than Black women shaming Black men for getting with white women. Even though a lot of these Black women lay up secretly, they ain't gonna tell us. Especially, in her book, The Secret Relationship Between Black Men and White Women. I mean, Black women and white men in The Office. You have a lot of these Black chicks that be getting ran through by office dudes, by white dudes that work in the office. They be getting ran through, and a lot of these Black women be married to Black men getting ran through by white dudes, and they don't say that shit. A lot of times these Black women, they be getting ran through by Brads, and then they'll come back to the Black community and try to bury all that shit and come to Black men be on pro-Black shit. Only thing that give it away if some of them come back with biracial kids. That's what give it away. But if you have some of these Black women, they'll be ran through by numerous white men, failed relationships, failed divestment. All of a sudden they come back on some pro-Black shit, and then when they see Black men with white women, they get in their feelings about it because they feel just how Brad feel. You shouldn't be with her. You exclusively should be with me. I don't care how many white men I laid with. You see what I'm saying? That's how they think. They feel like that's the same way white men feel. No matter how many women of color, Black women or Mexican women he been with, you should be at Brad's beck and call, Becky, no matter what. Same thing with black women. I don't care how many white men I get to blow my back. Nigga, you should be over here with me because you belong to me. You my property. And keep in mind, during slavery, you remember you had black women that owned slaves. So this is why black women feel they have ownership over black men, because you had black women that owned slaves. And I land my plane on that one.